Aloha and welcome back to Flight Launch episode 4. A not so brand new show, but we are certainly going to unveil a brand new product today. So sit back and relax because that's exactly what this product will let you do. For all returning attendees, you know the drill. But for the first timers, I'll quickly run by a few housekeeping rules. You may ask questions anytime during the presentation by typing them in the Q&A section. Flight Launch is being recorded and we will publish it online soon. In case you're facing bandwidth issues here, we are also streaming this event live on LinkedIn. The link is coming up on the chat box. The Flight Launch Slack community is live. We have created a channel for HEXTRUCK. Feel free to hop in and communicate with your peers from the drone industry. The link to join the Slack channel is on the chat box too. As always, I'm your host, Vaishali. And let me start by introducing our keynote speaker for today, Nitin Gupta. Nitin is the founder and CEO of Flightbase Inc., an alumnus of the University of Maryland, College Park, USA. He has over 15 years of experience in the automation and aerial robotics industry and has been an invited speaker at various drone industry forums, including AUVSI Exponential, Interdrone, and Commercial UAV Expo. Nitin founded Flightbase about 4 years ago to build intelligent software products for automated commercial drones. Flightbase is now a team of experts in automation, software engineering, design, and AI. The team has won a number of recognitions for its innovation and world-class products, including the Grand Champion Award at the NTT Data's Global Innovation Contest. Flightbase's products are now used by over 14,000 users across 180 plus countries. So welcome Nitin, over to you.
Thanks Vaishali. So hello everyone, welcome once again to Flight Launch. Thank you for joining us today. As you must be aware, Flightbase has been building products to help deploy fully automated drones at scale, working with several industry experts and early adopters of autonomous drone technology. Over the years, we have learned about and have helped overcome a range of challenges that drone operators face. The problem essentially is twofold. Executing repeatable UAV missions for data collection, especially in remote and hard to reach areas, drone service providers often end up spending hefty amounts of time and resources just for collecting basic drone mission. To add to that, the dependency on operators and visual inspection personnel leads to significant investments in training and other issues like unavailability on demand. Also, because of several limitations of commercial off-the-shelf drones, such as short battery life and low transmission range, performing manual operations on demand at any hour becomes virtually impossible and very expensive. To solve this problem, bringing affordable drone docking station to the masses was essential. By combining the off-the-shelf, low-cost docking stations and an automation software, users can now conduct fully automated operations requiring low or no human intervention. Back in May, we all witnessed the launch of Hextronics Global that offers best-in-class capabilities at a price point never seen before. This significantly helped increase adoption of DIAB across industries and brought us a step closer to the goal, that is bringing autonomous drone in a box to the masses. Now moving to problem number 2. From several of our conversations with first responders, public safety officials, and construction companies, we discovered that they also needed to transport the box for inspections or emergencies to different locations that are quite far from each other. This requires the box to be easy to move around and be extremely easy and quick to set up and deploy in any location. So how do we solve this problem? Well, I am excited to update you that our friends at Hextronics have worked really hard to find just the perfect solution. Over the last few months, they have not only designed and developed it, but have also conducted thorough user tests to ensure that the solution indeed meets their needs. Today, we are here to share all the details on this new product with you, so stay tuned.
Thank you, Nitin. That was definitely insightful for our audience. I will now move on to introducing Curtis, the founder and CEO of Hextronics, who is now a very popular face of the drone automation industry. A mechanical engineer from Miami, Curtis studied at the Georgia Institute of Technology. With his passion for robotics and product development, he started Hextronics in early 2020 and has been refining the design of battery exchanging drone stations ever since. Along the way, the Hextronics team has won the engineering capstone design competition at Kurt's alma mater, graduated from the GT CreateX Startup Accelerator, received recognition from the largest tech journal in South Florida, Refresh Miami, and listed as Miami's Inno's top 20 under 25 companies. A very warm welcome to you, Kurt. It's been quite a whirlwind of a journey since the launch of the Hextronics Global back in May. The product has gained immense traction and love, especially at the AUVSI, and obviously gone through a series of iterations. So why don't you tell the audience what's been happening at the Hextronics HQ ever since?
Well, thank you so much, Vaisali and Nitin, for the warm welcome. Ever since that initial launch, we've gotten overwhelmed with support and interest, and it's been exciting. Well, we finally moved out of our garage into this larger production facility where we'll actually be able to handle the production volume that has been requested of us. And through our initial deployments across the world, we've learned many ways to maximize the reliability and scalability of our product and held off shipping until all these issues have been dealt with. And we're here. So we're conquering it globally and we're ready to go.
Well, that looks like a lot of sleepless nights went into this, Kurt. Makes me curious to learn more about what's been happening with your latest version of the flagship product, the Hextronics Global Advance. Could you briefly cover some of its standard features?
Sure, yeah. Actually, I haven't cut my hair since we started, and it's about a foot long. So the exterior material, it's still anodized aluminum, and that helps us maintain our weather and corrosion resistance. And all of the joints are sealed with an industrial caulking and some weatherproof gaskets. And then in the back there, you'll see we've got our climate control system to be extremely robust and powerful in order to maintain the batteries at a healthy temperature at the temperature range that we are looking for, up to 130 degrees Fahrenheit. And this maintains the batteries, of course. We've made our swap time now lower than 90 seconds, and it is still built for portability at 120 pounds.
Well, that seems to cover most grounds, Kurt. So how is the new Advance different from that of the previous version?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So from many requests that we have, we really focused in on the design and the manufacturability of it and the performance. So kind of the first thing that we went to focus on was the connectivity. We really went to improve the bandwidth so that the customers using the station from across the country or across the world still get high quality visuals, even in a mobile deployment that's not wired directly into Ethernet. So we're maximizing the capability of pretty much all cellular networks by being able to offer twice the level of bandwidth. That's pretty much jumping from 100 megabits per second upload to 10 megabits per second upload to 20 megabits per second, which is very important. And then the next thing that we've improved is our actual battery management system. And so you'll see we've made a more integrated circuit that is capable of measuring the current that flows into the battery, shutting them off if the station is not going to be used for a certain period of time to keep the batteries healthy, and then also being able to detect the battery being inside the position. And this offers almost twice the speed of the boot time of the station loading up for the first time. And so then after this, there's a few more adjustments that we've done inside the unit. We've really created a fully integrated control board that you'll see in the next slide. We've included a backup battery that actually can sustain the power of the station up to 3 hours after it's been completely unplugged and disconnected from the power grid. We've created an automatic protective kind of draw seal where when the door opens, it protects the inside from any dust or kind of large objects that might come in. And then we've also upgraded the landing pad for the station that enables the drone to kind of be a affirmative landing position that is correct. You'll see in the next slide where we talk about the propeller guards, how we've improved. We added a slide adjustment that is very lightweight and aerodynamic that allows the propellers to be more shaped like a bowl, so they just fall right into the station when the drone is doing the precision landing. And this is really what helps keep the station in such a small form factor, because especially at high winds, we found that we really have to do everything we can to get the drone back home safely. And so we're taking all the precautions as possible. But there's something else. There's something we've been working on that is actually kind of secret that we're going to reveal now, and it has to do with our cooling system. So you can see in this slide, this is the thermoelectric unit that we've been using in the back that consumes about 1 kilowatt of energy in order to keep the station cool. And that is a lot. If you want to power this remotely off a power grid, you're going to need something like this. This is our back compressor unit that we've designed and had manufactured and tested. And it's 4 times as efficient, 3 times lighter, and just the form factor is much more reliable and robust, which enables it to be powered completely kind of off the grid with a solar panel array without consuming too much electricity. We didn't want to ship a whole bunch of these units that were just going to be drawing loads and loads of power. So we focused on making them efficient.
That sounds incredible, Kurt. Could you tell the audience, it's already visible up there, about the drones that are supported with the new station? One particular question that goes out there is, how about the much awaited Mavic 3? Now with the new battery location, will that be an issue?
Sure. So let's first get to all the drones we've got here. So we've got the Mavic 2 Pro, Enterprise, Zoom, and Enterprise Dual. Everyone knows that they work, they tested, all good. The one that people have been wondering about is the Enterprise Advanced. And we figured out that if we can't use the Mavic 2 standard remote controller, we can use the smart controller, and it integrates directly into the station. We've allowed enough space for it, and it really enables the system to work with the Mavic Enterprise Advanced. So now getting to your point about the Mavic 3. So it's not even released yet, it's not out, everyone's excited. They see the battery coming from the back and they're wondering, how's Hextronics going to deal with this? Well, let me tell you about our trade-up program. As these stations get deployed and are shipped out, we really want to get users to be able to develop their technology for these systems as fast as possible so that they can really bring the benefits to their customers. And so when the Mavic 3 comes out, and inevitably it may be on our roadmap to design a station for it, and we'll have all these systems available for kind of upgrade moving forward into the future.
The trade-up program, Kurt, I'm sure would be a great relief for everyone worried about the future iterations of DJI drones. And now that we've seen what the Global Advance can do, going back to what Nitin stated in his keynote, I'm sure the challenges of manual operations are well covered. But what about the problem statement number 2, which is tackling the issues of stationary deployments? How can users upgrade to a more mobile solution?
Well, I think that's why we're here, Vaisali. Let's talk about the HEXTRUCK and all of its features.
All right. But then again, wait, before we jump right in, why don't we show the audience a quick glimpse of what they've been waiting for, and to be precise, around 15 odd minutes. Well, this indeed is exciting, Kurt. The floor is all yours. Please introduce the audience to the HEXTRUCK.
Okay, so the HEXTRUCK, one of the first things that our customers said to us when they ordered it is like, first thing I'm gonna do is smack this in the back of my pickup and take it out. And I was thinking to myself, oh man, that's really gonna bump up some things in there. We better handle this situation. So we came in and we designed a whole system built for mobility. And that starts out with kind of the initial kit that comes with the HEXTRUCK package, which is the mounting kit. And this mounting kit really is what enables the station to be secured safely to the truck. And that it consists mainly of just a couple bolts, rib nuts, and a really a shock absorbing spacer that goes right in between. And with this comes the inverter and isolated battery pack that enables the power from the car battery to charge another battery that's isolated in order to kind of protect the car completely from the station, and then also invert that power into typical AC voltage that can be used by the station and also any other electronics that you might be using within the vehicle. And so also going forward, there are some vehicles that come out that are capable of having a larger battery pack inside and also an inverter directly within them. Some of these is like the Ford electric hybrid, the Rivian, and another one that people are talking about from Tesla, but we'll see where we go with that. And so now let's go to some of the other options. So you'll see we also have a rail mount for the antennas that actually sends the signal out from the drone station above the cab of the vehicle, so that it's not kind of blocked or dampened by any of the metal components that might make up the truck. And then we also have a truck bed slide that enables the station to be accessed easier. Basically pulls the station out, allows it to be mounted and swapped out very quickly without even needing to undo any bolts. And then we also have, furthermore after this, a cover that goes over the top in order to protect the station when you've got the vehicle off. And this really protects it so that you don't need to draw any electricity from the batteries in order to keep the station cool. Pretty much the cover will work to serve as a dampener in between when the sun's beating down on it.
All right, Kurt. This all sounds great, and you've already answered my next question, which is what kind of truck can users use? Is it supposed to be of a particular model, or can it be used across a variety of pickup trucks?
Sure. So eventually we'll come out with a full list of supported trucks, but pretty much if your truck bed can hold something that is a square meter in an area, you'll be able to mount this station on it, because it comes with simply the bolts and the spacer that goes underneath it in order to dampen the shock. So yeah, it really can be installed on almost any existing truck bed.
All right, I think it'll be great if the audience gets to see the HEXTRUCK in action, Kurt.
Hey, welcome to the Hex Quarters. It's Kurt from Hextronics, and today we're going to show you all what we've done with the Hextronics unit into the HEXTRUCK. Let's go. Putting on the antennas. You're gonna plug in the power cable. All right, now your trusty screwdrivers. And voila, you're done. Right? How we power the unit is by using an internal inverter that draws power off of an isolated battery in the back. We'll show you really soon. Here. Inside here, we've mounted the inverter at a cozy spot in there that's out of the way and also allows you to run any other sort of electrical equipment off standard AC voltage. First, we extend the antenna so that our range of 4G and drone connectivity spans beyond the cabin of the vehicle. And then the slide on top that covers the drone station, keeping it out of the sun when it's off to not consume electricity. Isolated battery right here that makes sure that the internal car battery never gets drained to a point where it is unable to start. So I just opened it up and there it goes. Okay, and so as you can see, this new design, it features a more insulative front cover. We've actually added onto the prop guards of the drone a very small, lightweight, aerodynamic bowl shape that enables the drone to precisely land within the small confines of the chamber, even at high winds that we have now. You can tell by my hair. And we've also, in the unit, been able to integrate this bowl shape in the landing pad design. As you can see right here, we have a back door that folds out exactly when the station is in service. What we've got is we've organized all the wiring to make it simpler. We've enhanced the battery boards here that now have more capability and control of monitoring the input current into the drone's batteries that are charging. And then in here we've improved the wire routing so that it is all very compact, and you'll see back in there we have a micro hard unit that does some of the fastest cellular transmission ever existing. And then in the back, right in the center, we have the thermoelectric unit that keeps the unit cool with about 500 watts of cooling. I know you might think it's a bit overkill, but in places like Miami, and especially during the summer, when the temperatures can get as hot as 100 degrees with sun blasting directly on it, you really need to keep it cool, or else the batteries are going to have a bad time, you're not going to charge, and you're really going to wear down the life of the drone. So at Hextronics, we care about the batteries. That's what we do.
This again looks amazing, Kurt. But who are going to use this? Who are going to be the users of HEXTRUCK? Who would benefit from this?
Sure thing. Well, we've had many calls for this application, and there are many scenarios where users ask us, hey, it's cool, it's mounted in one spot, but it really makes sense for us to move it to multiple locations so that it can be kind of on the go and ready when we need it. And so the first sector that we're thinking about that has kind of contacted and been with us is public safety. And so this is essentially a unit is deployed at an event, a concert, a gathering, or an emergency where the unit can just go up and immediately give control to people on the ground and also people completely remotely. And then also emergency response, where the truck and the unit can be ready to go at kind of a moment's notice. And so when an officer responds on the scene, there'll be someone from base will be able to launch out of the back of the truck and immediately provide support from the air in order to get a great overview of the station, and also provide a third eye view and kind of an extra witness to what is going on in the scenario with the police. And then also what we found is for long range inspection, for when, say, you need to observe and inspect quite a large area, such as a pipeline or a long extent of power lines, where you take the station, park it, run the initial mission, and then move to the next location. And this also goes for kind of construction purposes as well, where if you're working on one project, you bring the truck to your mission for the day, relay it back to base back home, and then drive over to the next one in order to kind of distribute the cost between many different jobs and using it into the future. And then the next thing we see is really nighttime security as well, where since the station and the truck both provide lighting overhead, and the drone itself is also not prevented from flying in the dark, we are able to perform nighttime security and also utilize to the max potential the thermal camera that ships with the drone.
Thanks, Scott. I think this would cater to a wide a number of people and audience, and especially can be used for different kinds of verticals. So with such a high quality system, how do you plan to scale your production? How many units do you plan to roll out this year or in 2022?
Sure. Yeah. So our team here, we've moved into a larger facility. Our team's more than tripled in size, and we're working with kind of consultants and groups all around Miami and the world in order to make this project happen. We will have a team of technicians ready to assist our customers, designers to ensure the quality of the units, and a manufacturing team constantly on the roll, producing them on the production floor. And so through many station redesigns, we've really come to an assembly and a knowledge of how drone stations should come together so that they are rapidly producible by using rivets that don't come unscrewed over shipping, and also really maximizing the power of sheet metal fabrication, which we at Hextronics call sheet magic. And then each unit will be fully tested before shipping, doing multiple flights, precision landings, and battery swaps. So through late 2021 and early 22, we're working to get over 50 Hextronics global advances produced and shipped. From there, we'll continue production with a target of 1,000 units by the end of 2022.
Whoa. I am sure this would help reach Nitin's goal of bringing drone in a box units to the masses. And with that, I would now like to call and invite my colleague and the Director of Business Development at Flightbase, Achal. Well, he needs no introduction. Most of you must have already met him over all the zillion webinars of Flightbase. Achal today would talk about the FlightNow software that helps automate the workflow and its tight integration with the Hextronics Global Advance and the HEXTRUCK. Over to you, Achal.
Thank you, Vaishali. Whoa, that was something great. Thanks for bringing that up. Everybody has been asking for something like this, where how can I put this on the pickup truck and do my missions, respond to missions, everything. So I'm here, everyone, to tell you a bit about the software that we have developed for specifically HEXTRUCK, which allows you to deploy drones on demand for a variety of applications. So in the next slide, of course, we're going to talk about our flagship product, FlightNow Auto, which is the drone automation software platform. This is the advanced sophisticated software which allows you to control off-the-shelf drones with docking station and deploy your drones for a variety of applications. So in the next slides, let's quickly look at a recap where, of course, FlightNow Auto provides you all the features as you see on the left, from listing the drone fleet, planning missions, mission scheduler where you can schedule missions for throughout the daytime. You can review those logs and see the data, precisely land on the docking station every time. And now with the HEXTRUCK, you are able to come back and land precisely on the truck and then drive to the next point and again launch the mission. And of course, all of this can be done over the cloud, where you can share the live video stream to the people who are sitting back in the office or with your team directly from the truck itself. So you can conduct the autonomous patrols, land precisely, as well as control the docking stations. Here is a brief snapshot where you can again understand in detail how you can see the drone cards from different drones, as well as you can schedule missions on the calendar. You can capture the live HD video feed. Now we are also having a feature where you can access the data of the drone from the SD card. So the high quality data which is stored in 4K can now be uploaded on the cloud, and you can see all the high quality image or the videos directly on your dashboard. And of course, with the Mavic 2 Enterprise Advanced Dual, both the drones now you can have thermal video feed. You can of course broadcast the audio messages for emergency response, and as I said, you can record and archive the videos. So the critical feature that has always been there, we'll talk about that in the next slide, which is about sending the drone for emergency response. This already existed in the non-docking station workflows, but required a lot of different components when it comes to the docking station, especially HEXTRUCK, where the whole idea here is how you can deploy the drone really quick to a particular location. Suppose you're driving to that particular location and there's an emergency where you need to quickly respond and send the drone. It would take a lot of time for somebody to take out the drone, put the propellers, or launch the drone to that particular point. But now with HEXTRUCK and this feature, you would be able to just press a button, it automatically opens the docking station, launches the drone, and sends the drone to a particular coordinate so you can get the live situation awareness. And we are continuously working on enhancing these features, where we are lowering the response time, where how can we launch the drone in the shortest time possible and send the drone to that particular location. So the go to location feature again comes with all the automated workflows beneath, where with a simple click button, the drone would be ready, the box would open, it would launch, go to the location on the back end, the box would close for the safety. Once the drone is done, you can just trigger return to the docking station and it would come back and land on the docking station. Now, most of the people ask, hey HL, what happens if I'm not able to access my docking station? So of course the fail safes have to catch up, right? How those fail safes are going to be there in terms of different scenarios. So first, let me just quickly walk you through this screen where the advanced docking station controls allows you. So this is part of the initial screen, but you can see the live video feed from the docking station, as well as all the controls of the cooling system, the weather data, etc. On your dashboard. And moving on to the next slide, where specifically what we have done is we have designed fail-safe specific for drone in the box operations. So you have standard fail-safes like what happens in low battery, if you have RC link loss, if you have internet link loss, but there are number of fail-safes which are required when you have a docking station. So we completely redesigned these fail-safes keeping docking stations in mind, where now you can have, instead of just having return to home, first you have return to a docking station where the drone can come back and land the docking station, and you can also have a return to a safe location. So in any case of emergency where you're not able to access the docking station, the drone will again go and land on a safe location which you can predetermine at the start of your mission. So workflows are like this enhance the flight safety as you deploy drones with Hextronics. So we have a detailed video. This is quite a long overview video which will walk you through each and every phases of what it is required, how it can operate, and Kurt and I would be walking you through and sharing our comments on the video.
Of course, yes. So you pull up on the scene and you set up the station, just like as I walked through on the initial walkthrough video.
And here you see the dashboard where the drone and docking station is live. You have a simple checklist. You can go through that and launch the drone. You get all the notification and drone is up in the air. So now it could be a construction site where you're doing a quick survey, or it could be a emergency response situation where you are acting to situations like fire, active shooter, or it could be different kind of scenarios where you need a drone really quick. You could also be a drone solution provider where you would be doing multiple missions across the day, across the sites where you need to capture the data and deliver it to your clients. So here you see how the drone is flying. You're seeing the live video at ultra low latency. You can control the drone. You can switch to the thermal camera and get all that on the dashboard. Here you see the drone precisely landing on the docking station. So using the AI eco markers and the onboard camera, there's no additional payload required for the drone. It lands precisely, and of course the additions that Kurt has done to the box and the drone, it allows the smooth landing inside the docking station.
Yes, exactly. And you can see it's been tested over many scenarios, and it just goes right in. And pack it up and you're done for the day.
Great. I believe that video was a little choppy. We'll be posting the YouTube link soon on our channel, so you can again see the video. But yeah, you can go through it again, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop us questions about the software and the hardware. Okay, let's move to the next part.
Thank you, Achal. I assure you, even though this video is choppy, the Flight Now's video will be streamed at ultra low latency, so there will be no choppiness out there. Moving on to the main thing that we've all been waiting for today. Kurt, it's time to play the good old pricing game. Let the audience know how much the global advance costs?
Okay, I think we need a drum roll.
Yes, this deserves a Stephen Colbert style drum roll. All right, over to you, Kurt.
All right, so with the advancements done on this drone station, I know it initially went for a very low price, but we've learned that we really have to put high quality components in this system. We've got to do all the testing, and we've really got to ensure quality in it before we can ship it out. And so you'll see that we've also included an integrated battery that really helps maintain the reliability of the system, an increased cooling unit, and really gives you everything you need in order for the station that you really deserve. And so the price that we're now looking for at retail is $20,000 for our docking station.
All right, I think Swati, it's time for the reveal of price. Kurt's already mentioned that. Yes, it's available now for $20,000 US. Well, Kurt, the price of the Global Advance has increased, like you mentioned, since the release of Global back in May. Is the difference only due to the new upgrades?
No, it is definitely in order for allow us to invest more time, effort, and work into each product to ensure that it has the quality that we deserve. It also allows us to add the critical components that allow for maximized performance, such as the battery, the cooling system, and the fully integrated control board that we've now developed and is mounted in there. So we're not constantly soldering everything together by hand, where there's a million possible places for failure. We actually designed the whole station and the whole circuit board through kind of the computer design tools that we're using in order to automate many of the high precision levels of production.
All right, that definitely seems reasonable. And now let's move on to the most awaited thing, which is HEXTRUCK. What about the price of HEXTRUCK? How much would that cost? And would all the components we discussed in the previous slides when you showed us, would all that be included in the price?
Yes, so if you go with the HEXTRUCK, it's an add-on to the Hextronics Global, and really you get the Global Advanced, you get the mounting kit, and the 1500 watt inverter that allows for everything, including all of your internal electronics in the truck, to be powered. And by the way, the station also creates its own Wi-Fi hotspot, so when you're in the truck, you'll be able to have high-speed Wi-Fi. We actually used it to film many of those videos that were just in that presentation. And then you'll see that the other components, such as the isolated battery pack, the rail mount, the bed slide, and the cover are all kind of custom add-ons that you can pick and choose depending on what your use case and needs are.
All right.
And then as far as it goes with pricing, let's see what the slide says. So we're thinking starting at 40, but for you, Vaishali, and for the sake of this launch, we'll launch it for only 25. So that's just 20 for the global, and then 5 for the mounting kit and inverter. And then you'll see as you kind of move forward what the other add-ons we would be looking at.
That's a steal, Kurt. Definitely this would help a lot of people add mobility to their drone operations, and at the same time autonomy. So it's not just being able to carry a drone, but they can carry a complete drone in a box station from one side to the other, and without much human or minimal human intervention. And I think this is for sure the best bang for the buck. How can audience place the orders for Hextronics Global Advance and the HEXTRUCK, obviously?
Well, it's pretty simple. You just have to fill out our standard purchase order form on our website, and also link to this QR code. From there, we'll follow up with the invoice for a down payment. And then in order to keep your spot in production, the invoice should be fulfilled by November 15th. And that's really what it's looking like.
All right. And how long would the delivery take? When do you expect to start processing shipments?
Sure. Well, we've finally gotten our production facility set up and kind of the production defined. And now we're really working to blast out units to fulfill the rest of our orders before the end of the year. And now we're looking at shipments to begin for the Hextronics Global Advanced and for the HEXTRUCK in December 2021. They'll begin. However, many of them will probably be more at January as well.
Thank you, Kurt. Thank you for sharing all this information. It all sounds amazing. Would you like to share anything else before we move on?
Sure. I'd like to share kind of the vision and kind of my whole purpose as a person. First, I'd like to say thank you to the FlightNow team for hosting yet another launch and supporting us and our product all through its development life. I first talked to Shaul and Vaisali a little over a year ago in my dorm room in college. And from there, we've grown so much. And from working with their team, we understand that FlightNow really is kind of an unstoppable force, and we'll continue to move forward the industry together. I also want to thank our initial customers for bearing with us, for testing the units, and for being patient in order to allow us to have the time to make the best product possible. We seriously work every day to make it, and we're not going to be satisfied until we know that the unit we ship you is beautiful and ready to go. We've learned much about what it takes to create a fully autonomous drone station, and especially getting started out of a garage here in Miami, we have learned volumes. We'll continue to support our customers, and as we said, the trade-up program kind of will work to start as soon as possible for our initial users. I also want to thank DJI. Yeah, I know at least in America now, there's a large push against drone technology originating from China. However, right now, they've been extremely reliable, cost-effective, and easy to work with. They've supplied an open API for tools that allow other agencies such as FlightNow or Hextronics or other people in order to design systems that have capabilities that truly maximize the power of autonomous aerial vehicles. And now at Hextronics, we've really built the engineering infrastructure and knowledge in order to lead the market in a low-cost, battery-swapping drone station. From our integrated driver board, our design cooling system, and our experience with mechanical engineering, we'll continue to produce industry-leading systems for years to come, even targeting smaller and larger drones in the future. I know that we may bump into a few walls on our way, but fundamental to Hextronics is the principle of teamwork and rapid iteration. We are open to building the future of drone autonomy with many partners across the globe to create visual analysis tools that truly amplify the information power of our users. People are really developing tools that will be able to be shared amongst all drone stations in order to perform analysis for like car recognition, feature recognition, crop understanding and analysis. All of these will be developed, and the whole vision is that it's accessible to anyone who owns one of these stations so that they can take advantage of a system that someone has spent months building, and they can apply it immediately to amplify the AI capability and analysis tools to give them the information needed in order to make the strong decisions. And so all the insights we gain from being part of a larger network is truly amazing, and we are proud to play the role that we do as just a little node in the chain of a bunch of hexagons as part of Hextronics. So thank you.
But I think I'm about to tear up. Tears of joy though. Our team is equally thrilled to have worked with a cooperating partner such as yours. And I leave it up to Nitin and Achal to share more about it. But well, audience, the final surprise for the show is here for you. The giant wheel of fortune is back again. Maybe not for our dedicated returning viewers, but let's see. We are now offering a free 3-month subscription of FlightNow Auto to one lucky viewer, and 2 lucky winners stand a chance to win 1-year subscription to FlightNow Live. On my screen, let me just, can you stop sharing, Swati, so I can pull up my screen? Just give me a moment. Okay, yes, it's up. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
All right. Here's the screen with the name of all our viewers and attendees today. So let's go. Simran, you just won a 3-month subscription of Flight Now Auto. Well, congratulations to you. Let's try once again. Christoph, you just missed it by a minute second. Matthew, congratulations. You won a 1-year subscription of Flight Now Live. Please type in if you're listening to us, please type in your email address in the chat and we'll reach out to you with all the details. So one last time, let's go once again. Patrick is our lucky winner, and you won a 1-year subscription of Flight Now Live. Please again drop in your email address if you're listening to us on the chat and we'll reach out to you. Great, I think this was fun. And with this, I would now like to, let me stop sharing, and I would now like to open the house for Q&A. Audience, please drop in your questions in the Q&A section, but you can just type it in there and we will be happy to take forward all the questions. I already have a few questions that have popped up, so let me just begin with it. So this one's for you, Kurt. Rain and weather continues to be a limiting factor for most drone solutions. Are there any plan for wet suits or anything else to mitigate weather?
So this is interesting. We've actually heard from some of our earliest supporters about wetsuits that are designed for exactly the Mavic 2, and we're still working to test them with the unit. However, we definitely suggest that you fly the drone to maintain complete reliable autonomy when the weather is permitting and is clear outside, because really many things can happen. It can start pouring, and even with some of these wetsuits, the high rain, most drones aren't rated at IP66 like the station would be, but really yes. So we're working with a integrated weather service API that uses satellite and local radar analysis of weather patterns in order to really give us this information that we need to make a decision whether or not we fly an autonomous mission, like if it's going to rain in 15 minutes or so. And so that's how we'll handle it. Let's just take it easy for now, fly when the skies are clear.
All right, Kurt, I think we have a similar a question on the similar lines. Is there an external weather sensor that can be fitted on Hextronics, and will Hextronics and Flight Now be able to make intelligent decisions based on that? So you can start, and then maybe Achal can take over.
Sure, well, I'll start. So we have gotten many requests about integrated weather station, and I definitely understand. However, there is always the capability where the weather's clear at the station, and then just like half a kilometer away, it is pouring, and then all of a sudden the rain takes the station by storm, and the drone's in the air, and it's like a half a kilometer from home, and it's really not the safest thing that we could do. So the plan would be to integrate with these cloud APIs, in order to say, okay, the weather is going to be clear for the next 15 minutes, or okay, in 15 minutes it might start raining, don't go. But yeah, Ashal, you can take it from here.
Sure. Right. So, just the integration of sensor, as correctly said by Kurt, is not enough, and it's going to be a little bit more advanced and complex, where you'd have to fuse the data in and around the box to take that action. So today we are providing that kind of integration where at least you have the right data on the dashboard, and soon we'll be coming up with even automated features which allow you to take those kind of decision, or automatically let the drone in the box decide to whether to deploy a drone or return back to the home. So it would require integration for the sensors of the weather station, as well as the weather APIs, the cloud APIs, which are available for the weather data around that. And of course, we understand that all this, even the cloud data which is available online, could be different for different location. It might not be that reliable. So the bunch of different data that could be there on the dashboard would allow the operator to also take the decision at the right time.
All right. Thanks, Achal. Since we are on the topic of flight now, we have a lot of questions around flight now. So I'm just gonna ask a few. I see the system more for power line and gas pipeline inspections. Can we upload a KML file to flight now system for these kind of inspections so that the drone follows the particular line?
Yes, so it's a simple add-on available which should be purchased, where you can upload your KML file and you can launch the drone for a gas pipeline or oil pipeline inspection.
Great. And for example, if the drone moves to a new location, when you click RTH, in case the truck has moved since during the mission, will the home location be updated?
Right. So this is something which is on the cards, where we are closely working with Hextronics to integrate GPS inside the box, where you'd be able to understand the location of the box and then send the drone to that particular location. And since we have the integrated AR marker in the Hextronic box, we'd be able to precisely land inside the box.
All right. Back to you, Kurt. Is there any plan to support M300? It's a popular question again.
For the M300 drone, we'll see. We need to understand the interest, and so if you're interested in the M300 drone, you let us know, and we will see if we've got a timeline that could work for you.
All right, and can you just reiterate what are the extreme weather conditions or weather conditions in which the Hex Global can operate in? I meant the range of the temperature range.
Sure. So what we have listed is -5 Fahrenheit to 120 degrees Fahrenheit, and that can sustain most places on Earth. In our initial launch, we did say 150. We overestimated our calculations on the thermoelectric unit, and there is no place on Earth that gets to 150 degrees unless if you put the box in a volcano, which we strongly suggest against.
All right, and we have a question around there was a lot of components that were listed in HEXTRUCK. Will the user, if they purchase the HEXTRUCK edition, will all of them be required, or can they pick and choose and based on whatever their need is?
Sure. Well, it all comes with the standard base level, comes with the mounting kit, the inverter, and really the wiring and setup guide that makes it necessary. And then all the other options are pick and choose. You can have one, or you can have none, or you can have all of them. And from that, we also included in there a complete certified installation that can be done by an install team that is trained near you. But most of the install work is relatively simple and can be carried out through some documentation that would be able to provide.
Okay. Are there any in the development plan for similar sized UAVs such as the Anafi, Skydio, and Autel?
We're really looking for the best drones to develop for, and also for the groups that are most open to work with us. We don't think we can handle it all ourselves initially, and we really see that the way that a market like this can scale and really answer the needs of many customers and really fulfill and give the tools that the people need is by kind of diversifying the providers and giving tools for developers in order to make this for their end users. And so as it goes forward in selecting the drones, that is still kind of on our mission path and radar as we really test each of the drones thoroughly to make sure that if we're going to build an autonomous system for them, they got to be able to really perform. So that's what we're looking for.
Thanks again, Kurt. We are almost up on time, but I have one other question for Achal, which is come up a couple of times. Is it possible for us for flight now to detect motion sensors? For example, to automatically launch the drone when the motion is detected around these sensors?
Sure, right. This is the mostly asked questions where people are looking to deploy this in a security landscape. And this is absolutely possible with the add-ons and the APIs that we have, where the feature that you just saw, the go-to location, can be also called through an API, where you can integrate it with your motion sensor system. And whenever you have trigger, you can send the drone to a particular GPS coordinate, and these APIs and add-on would take care of all the automated workflow. And of course, you'll get all the data right on the dashboard.
Thank you, Achal. Thank you, Kurt, for answering all the questions. Since we are up on time, I would like to thank the audience as well for spending time with us today. And Nitin, if would you like to come up and share some closing thoughts before we end the session?
Sure, thanks, Vaishali. So that was some really cool engineering. Well, I am sure that we have all heard and seen concept videos of drones being tightly integrated with vehicles. In fact, some companies have also conducted POCs and trials of this concept. However, this is probably the first such system across the world that is going into production. And I'm really proud of the teamwork that our teams at Flightbase and Hextronics have done to turn this concept into a reality and make it available to users in such a short time. None of this would be possible without the love of our customers and partners. Thank you for working closely with us and for sharing your valuable feedback with us to ensure that we are building the right products and solving real-world problems. We are committed to bringing drone-in-a-box technology to masses. We look forward to your continued support, so please continue to share your feedback with us. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, Nitin, for summarizing it up so well. Kurt, is there anything else that you would like to say?
No, we've said it all, and we're excited for the future and excited to keep making our stations.
Well, then that's it. Until the next flight launch episode, signing off, everyone. Have a great day out there.